if I traded it all, if I gave it.
So welcome back. It's Halloween. We're having a great show today. I'm really loving it. My next guest has been on several times. I have Richard Cox. And Richard, you're with American Seller Financing. I love what you do. Please tell everybody what it is that you do.
Well, thank you so much, Carol, and thank you for having me on right before Michael Savage, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. American Seller Financing helps buyers and sellers. We create deals that weren't there before. We help buyers be able to buy who might be in the penalty box due to either a deed in lieu, a short sale. We help sellers who might have a property that doesn't quite fit underwriting or appraisal guidelines, but they still want to be able to sell. So we bring those two together, and we use retiree money, investor money, private investor money to fund the transaction. So it's a perfect marriage. It's really a win-win-win.
You also are an author.
I'm also an author.
Tell them about the book real quickly.
Well, I thought I had mentioned it before. I've actually got two books, and anybody who goes to our website will be able to get either one. The 10 Steps to Successful Creative Real Estate Investing, which is my most recent book. And last year I wrote a book, Dodd-Frank Realty Solutions, which goes into the entire Dodd-Frank law as it relates to real estate and mortgages. Dodd-Frank is about a 1,400-page act, and about 480 pages of it is directed towards real estate. And I go into it from the perspective of being able to show folks that it's really not the monster that it is. It's really common sense, and we can all live with Dodd-Frank and be successful.
Wow. What you do is you help people really get into the home of their dreams, and you do that for both sides of it. And you know what, guys, there's a lot of people out there that I don't care if everything's just perfect. There's always something there's that little hitch, and you make it happen for people.
We make it happen for people because we're constantly looking for ways to improve what we're delivering. We think outside the box. And I'd like to share with your listeners. Now, your listeners have heard me a few times, and they know that I'm pretty excited and pretty excitable. But what's happened over the past 2 weeks that I haven't had a chance to share with you yet is we started working with a paralegal and an attorney here in the Valley. And their focus is helping sellers by taking a look at their existing loan to make sure that everything was copacetic when that loan was done or when it's being serviced. And in a lot of cases, not 100%, but in a lot of cases, they're able to negotiate with the existing lender in order to be able to get a reduction in either interest rate or payment or even the principal. Now, this has nothing to do with the buyer or the seller's credit situation. It simply has to do with the fact that there may be some errors that are latent within that mortgage.
Well, here's what we've got. Our lines are open here. We want everybody to get his book. You can choose either one of them from him. The number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. It sounds to me like everybody should probably check it out and read it because it's information for them. And your website, that is AmericanSellerFinancing.com. Your phone number is 623-777-9465. And you do free consultations with people. Talk a little bit about that as well.
Absolutely. We want to be able to sit down, just like the doctor earlier in your show. We can't really know what's going to work for you until we sit down. So we'll never charge someone to be able to sit down, go over your situation, take a look at your loan documents, take a look at your situation if you're a buyer, and be able to plot out a plan to where that you're going to be able to achieve your dreams, become a homeowner if you're a buyer, or be able to sell that property if you're a seller. This current transaction that I'm talking about, we were able to take an individual who was upside down on their property, and the attorney is in the process of negotiating in order to right their loan situation so they are not going to have to sell on a short sale. They're not going to have that credit ding. The buyer is going to be able to buy where they wouldn't have been able to buy. So they're able, the seller has more flexibility to help the buyer. So the buyer wins, the seller wins, everybody wins.
623-777-9465, AmericanSellerFinancing.com. You said it just now, everybody wins. How does this work for people who, let's say, are investors
Investors. We love investors. Investors can participate in this because in a lot of situations, even with being able to do the audit and be able to reduce the mortgage, if we're able to, we still need to have investors come in who are able to fund the notes that we're creating in a seller financing transaction. These are investors who are making anywhere, and believe it or not, I did see a statement from someone making 0.2% on their money. They could barely afford a Starbucks a month on $200,000 on deposit. And we put them in, closed that deal last month. We talked about that. They're making 9.37% yield.
Wow. So there's so many things. You are a very creative company, and the only way that you can really know whether or not what you can do for them, it's not whether or not, it's what you can do for them, is finding out their story.
Exactly. I need for them to come in and share with me their situation and their story. And in addition to American Seller Financing, I'm also the designated broker for Darwin Jones Property Management. And we're able, if they're not really in a position to be able to purchase, let's say we're talking to a buyer, they're not able to purchase at the moment, we're able to put them into a property on either a rent-to-own or just on a 1 or 2 year lease. And now I've added on, by being introduced to a young lady named Misty Morgan, I've now added on the ability to be able to refer them to an apartment, a quality apartment, while they're in the process of getting up the down payment. You do need about a 10% down payment on seller financing on our program.
Okay, now again, their phone number, write it down, 623-777-9465. Their website is AmericanSellerFinancing.com, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. We're going to get everyone one of these books. It's the 10 Keys to Successful Creative Real Estate Investing. Also, he's got his other one, the Dodd-Frank Realty Solutions, that he's wrote as well. You've been doing this for over 30 years.
A while.
So you've got a lot of experience as well. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. I understand that you have an event that's coming up.
Yes, we have several. We have a meetup that's scheduled at our office, and that's on Saturday, November 14th. And that's for investors to come out and take a look at all of the ins and outs of investing in notes as well as property. I just found out and am able to be on the panel for an event on November 12th, and that's here at the Sheraton over off of 52nd Street in Tempe. And at that event, and it's hosted by the Hispanic Association of Real Estate Professionals, Ana Benavides, who's the president there. She was gracious enough to extend an invitation. At that event, we're going to have 2 keynote speakers, one of them being the Commissioner of Real Estate for the state of Arizona, Judy Lowe. The second keynote speaker is actually from the CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Julie Vore will be talking there as well. It's a huge event, and that's on November 12th.
So November 12th and November 14th, you've got 2 events that are coming up. Is all that information on your website?
It will be this weekend.
Okay.
I'm loading it as quick as I can.
Okay, but we'll make sure that everybody gets connected. Again, you can check them out at AmericanSellerFinancing.com. The number to call is 623-777-9465. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you? Is it going on your website? Is it giving you a call? What is it?
Give me a call. If I'm not able to answer the phone, like if I might be on the air on the radio with Carol, go ahead and leave your name and number. I promise you I'll call you back.
Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's going to get a book of their choice. It's either the 10 Keys to Successful Creative Real Estate Investing, or the other one is the Dodd-Frank Realty Solutions. Is that right?
That's right.
And that's another one. And again, you can check him out on his website, is AmericanSellerFinancing.com. financing.com. Call and leave him a message there at 623-777-9465. What are your final words?
Final words. Like I say, I'm glad to be on right in front of Michael Savage. This is a huge event, but I've really taken a page out of your book, Carol. You've talked about networking, and in fact, this show's about networking. And by getting out and networking and finding a way to differentiate myself, that's how we got here.
I'll tell you something, you've been great, and I love what you do. I love that you got to have somebody who is looking outside of the box a little bit, and that's what they do. They're creative, and the only way they're going to know that if they can help you, you have to call them. You have to tell them your story. It's 623-777-9465. Also, if you're an investor, it's a great way to work with some of these people who could probably really use your help.
Absolutely.
Again, that number is 623-777-9465. Don't forget to check those two events that are coming November 12th and the 14th. Look them up at AmericanSellerFinancing.com.
If I traded it all,